But it's true. I mean, it's very true. I feel that the power of propaganda and the of big tech, technocrats to influence is so huge at the moment. I know that you have commented on your Substack about the whole kind of madness of that shuttle with Jeff Bezos as one example. And I mean, what are your thoughts about it? Do you think it's fake?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't think you can go to space, right? I mean, I think they were just wanting to show, oh, look, it's roundy, and look, we're in a roundy ball spinning in space. I don't think we're spinning in space. I don't think
Oh,
we're orbiting the sun at 66,600 miles an hour. Because when you start looking at all that, you see all the 666s, and there are so many. And then you realize, oh, okay. I mean, I used to love the globe and all that. And it's not that I have all the answers. I really don't. It's just when you have things like this and you see the performances. I mean, Katy Perry is a very good actress, and she is like a kids' TV presenter for
mm,
adults, really and
mm,
truly.
mm.
And she's very convincing. If you notice with a lot of these types, they don't blink. She brought the butterfly up there, and I think sometimes these butterfly. Well, I mean, it's the Monarch MK Ultra programming, isn't it? I mean, she wanted fame so badly. If we looked at her past, she was desperate to be famous.
Oh,
She's the type,
yeah.
yeah, she would have done anything to be famous, and she was late to the party as well. And she, it looks like she sold her selling your soul seems to be a thing, because if we just look at all her music videos and the way she is, in this very sweet, sugar coated way, corrupting the young ones. And now this to say, hey, look, I'm up in space and look how roundy it is down there. And look, you can see the curvature, which is the thing, it's like,
I noticed that,
what
the blue
curvature?
line they were talking about and everything, right? And do you think that the symbolism, the logo is a Baphomet? It certainly looks like it, doesn't it? Have you
Well, yeah,
noticed that?
they are into inversions, so they usually do that where if you invert it, you will see some kind of yeah, demon. And some who was it I was looking at? And it makes sense because I look at all the space stuff, all the space sciencey magazines. I look at it every day because I'm interested in it. I'm interested in the lies. But what I have come to notice is that they seem to be talking in code. So yeah, it's very weird. Like say one of them, it was in the Telegraph, went out in the Telegraph about moons around Saturn or something like that. And they were talking about they've this new discovery. They found 122 new moons. It's bullshit. Like they're just making it up. But the way they were telling the story, it sounded like they were talking in code that it was what it was some other planet anyway was winning, and then Saturn was won out with the moon count. And I thought, well, this doesn't make any sense unless it's some esoteric meaning behind this.
Mm.
But the same with then they show images from space and this Hubble telescope, and they're showing us, other galaxies far, far away. But it was some guy, and he was looking at the images, and then he was inverting them, and there was these demonic images. Now, okay, that is going too far, perhaps, but it is interesting if you are looking at it from the perspective that there is an esoteric meaning to all this space talk, because it's certainly not science, it's scientism, and it's showbiz, it's fakery like we saw there. But the good thing about that is so many people now are waking up. Like before, when I started talking, saying is the moon plasma, maybe, because there was this Professor Foster guy, who's disappeared off the records, and he was one of the first in the 1960s to say the moon's made of plasma. I don't know what the moon is made of, but I thought this was interesting. And why is he being wiped? Because then they did the fake moon landings after that. So I thought that was very interesting. Where has he gone? He got some kind of honorary doctorate in Trinity College Dublin, and I've been trying to track it down. Going, where
Wow.
is he? Yeah,
Wow,
he was a
really?
bit
In
annoying.
Dublin?
Yeah,
Wow. So,
yeah.
I mean, the thing is that if it is fake, and I tend to think it is fake, right? This whole thing of we're taking up space, what would be the reason for it potentially, theoretically, for them faking it?
Well, you see, I do think we're up against Satanists. People say it's the Jews, it's whatever. I think we can break it down between good and evil. If we just want to boil it down, I really, after all this time, I do think we're up against Satanists. So I think this scientism is to try and say, well, we're just a speck of dust in an ever expanding universe, and we're just an accident, and we don't really matter. But if we go back to the Bible would say, no, first of all, the earth is fixed. It's fixed in its place. So there's many references in the Bible to that, which people go, oh, the Bible, because that's a joke. Because the scientists made people believe that. But it turns out, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm always testing, it's always the journalistic method. Is it true? Is it true? Is it true? And kind of like when I was a kid, you'd look at it and you go, we're not moving. Like, and what? They're upside down in Australia. That doesn't make any sense. And you nearly have to go back to being a kid and asking those simple questions that were bet out of you and said, oh, the expert is telling you. But it's very much that I think it's an anti-God thing. I just think
Ooh,
that's,
interesting.
yeah.
Did you see Jeff Bezos, or Bezos, however they pronounce his name, fall over? Did you see him fall down
Yeah.
that hole? That was
Yes.
kind of funny. And when they were trying to doing with the door, and they've actually changed the whole situation with the door was ridiculous, because the doors now actually open out, right, because of various
Yeah.
other health and safety reasons. And even that, they were like, just wait for it, just wait for it. But the whole, you're absolutely right. They're actresses, performers. My favorite headline was actually in the Daily Mail, which told us what happens to Botox and fillers in space, which I thought was really quite funny, actually. And but it's absolutely ridiculous.
It's time to wake up with Sonia Poulton.